Hi, topic 5 is the last topic in this block on market research. In topic 4, I talked about garbage in, garbage out and coming up with credible and plausible methodologies by which you collect accurate data from which you can process into useful information upon which you can base sensible and sustainable decisions. There are a number of things I think you need to take account of when collecting data, and this final topic actually will just help you think of some of the things that will help you to collect credible data. First of all, there's primary data. Primary data is that original unique data that you collect for yourself that nobody else does. So it's you going out and counting or observing or watching and recording what you see in order to collect some numbers or some figures that you can then do something with. It might also be that you collect, we're going to talk in a minute about qualitative data, it might also be that you ask questions of people that you record the answers to, and that too is original useful data that you can take into account when making later decisions. Secondary data is actually, it's very important because it's already there, so it's cheaper to access. Primary data always takes more in time, effort and money, and it's also higher risk because you're never quite sure what you're going to get out of the investment that you make in those things. Whereas secondary data is stuff that you can put off the web or get from libraries or from other sources where people have already undertaken some sort of data-based activities, shared the data on the web. Just be careful if you use secondary data that it's credible, that it's not been put together for a particular purpose that might not be desirable. You do have to validate and verify secondary data to make sure that it is okay to use it. But having done the source checks, there is plentiful secondary data out there that will be useful, and indeed that will be a very important part of your PESTLE and your SWOT analysis that we talked about earlier. Quantitative data is where you collect numeric data, so you count through observation or other means how often, how long, questions such as that, and you record those, and that becomes sort of a numeric database that you can process into graphs and diagrams and charts and so on. Qualitative data is interesting. Often people think it isn't as good as quantitative data because it's not scientific. It's a little bit more get people's opinions and thoughts and comments. However, in my experience, qualitative data is actually very important. It's where you actually you can put together structured interviews with carefully constructed, open-ended questions where you can actually find out how people are thinking, something about behaviours, something about mindsets that aren't actually easily translated into a numeric base. Generally speaking, the best market research combines both primary and secondary and qualitative and quantitative data. And this last topic of work just gives you a few indications as to the sorts of things that you shouldn't do when you're doing that. I hope this is useful, and just to finally say, this market research is so important. Do it once, do it properly, and then you will have the basis of a very, very successful proposition to put to your would-be beneficiary group. Thank you.